Fuck you! Read my face! You'll have to excuse... Now the lighting just went off my face, too.
Yeah, lighting dimmed on my side.
Maybe it's because I rolled my... No, it's not because I rolled my window up.
Yeah. Whatever. Just roll it up.
Do the best we can with what we got here.
Anyway.
So...
All the way up.
Oh, sorry.
A little chilly out now.
A little chilly. It's like
I can't rest my arm up here, then you won't see my face. I usually rest my arm.
We are really in the dark in this one.
Honestly, this time around, we're in the McDonald's parking
lot.
And I was trying to position my car.
The only reason we don't have a light is because your phone died, really.
Yeah, which...
Is it charging?
Honestly.
Yeah, why weren't you charging your phone? You could charge it like...
It wouldn't charge enough for me to just pop it off and take the light off. But, I have an idea.
I mean, yeah, you can charge it from here. Can you turn the light... Force Awakens. We'll be right back in just a second. But...
No, I got it.
No, I'm not saying we're leaving. I'm just...
Okay.
Well, anyway, yeah, I saw The Force Awakens. Now, me and Mark were in a little debate how we're doing this review. We're going to basically do it like this. First 5 minutes, no spoilers. We don't want
to... Assuming we make it 5 minutes.
No, yeah, my battery's fine.
Well, no, what I mean is... I don't even think that doing a non-spoiler version will take us 5 minutes. However long the non-spoiler version is, non-spoiler for anyone who wants to listen to our opinion on that. And my face just keeps getting darker and darker and there we go. Hi everyone. I'm in the dark side. I just appeared on the light side. Yeah, we'll start with a brief non-spoiler and then raise the hand up. I'll do a count to 5, and then we're going into spoilers. So, yeah, we were in a little debate how to do this. Mark didn't really want to spoil it, and we were having some ethical debates about why spoiling and why not. But, yeah, we came to the conclusion we'll spoil after we give our non-spoiler. Basically, my kind of stance is, with the vast majority of other movies we've done, it's...
Trying to stay as much in the light as possible.
It's not exactly the same. Because I view this movie, and my views on this movie, are kind of like Brent and I work at a metal smelting plant, and we melt down metal. And one day, this movie, in the form of a very old antique metal cross,
symbolism,
comes down the line, and we're supposed to, melt it down.
Yeah. It was like, it's our job. We don't like doing it, but it's our job.
To where it's kind of like, well, should we?
But it's your job. And that's where the argument comes in. Because I make the argument that I put spoilers on all my videos. That if you don't want to be spoiled, just don't click on the video. That's it. If you don't want to watch the spoiler video, just don't click on the video. Didn't work.
No, it keeps freaking going in and out. Charging.
Anywho, though.
I'm going to keep messing with it, and hopefully we'll have light in a little bit.
Let there be light. General thoughts coming out of it. I would not say it's my favorite Star Wars. I'm probably going to have to get some couple more views, and even then I wouldn't say it's my favorite. But it is a welcome return to the series. A welcome return.
Here's the thing. It is my favorite newer Star Wars movie.
Past the original trilogy,
yes.
It's your favorite. Well, that's not saying much.
Here's the other thing with that is I don't really know how to judge the original trilogy in comparison to any other movie.
That's fair enough.
Like, I can't even judge them separately. I have to judge them as a group.
But then I guess the only way to judge this is when the newest trilogy is done in about 6 years.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Oh my God, this was an amazing
fantastic,
movie.
Beautiful, well acted, well choreographed, funny. It's actually a hilarious movie.
Honestly, here's the thing. This is what the prequel should have been.
Yeah.
George Lucas was going on about how he wanted...
Jar Jar's going to be the greatest ever.
Well, he was going on about how he wanted, these higher-end special effects, everything else, to, finally do the trilogy...
the way he wanted them.
The prequels justice.
Uh-huh.
But... He fucked that up.
It serves in some ways and doesn't in other ways.
This movie is how you do that. It shows everything in a newer, sleeker way. The graphics are amazing. You get a beautiful blend
of CGI,
CG and real.
Oh, JJ was even adamant. He said like 90% of like what you see is really there.
Speaking of which, that BB-8 droid.
That's all there, baby. That is all there.
I had trouble believing that.
Oh,
and here's why. Because I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, dude, I'm telling myself, this is really there. But it looks so good, so fluid, so amazing. Then I'm sitting there like, that can't really be there.
But it is.
Like...
And you know what? BB-8 is exactly what you want BB-8 to be. You get a sense of what he's saying without actually knowing what he's saying, which that is one complaint I have.
He's like R2's kid.
Yeah, but how do they understand droid? Because apparently not everyone understands droid. Finn made that very clear.
Yeah, also not everyone understands Wookiee.
Well, not everyone. Chewie, Leia, Han, Leia, they understand Wookiee. Ray doesn't know how she understands Wookiee. I'm guessing it's something to do with her character, which we'll get in the spoiler corner. But no,
Finn didn't understand Wookiee.
Well, we don't know enough about Finn to judge it. By the way, I was wearing a Santa hat.
Point being,
can't tell him.
Is I think it's kind of a matter of you pick up various languages, and like little phrases and meanings and crap like that here and there.
Yeah, but at the same time, Ray knew a specific thing Chewie said. So she was on She was on that planet for her entire life. So once again, spoiler corner.
Well, no. Once again, I say you pick up certain phrases and shit to where I don't know a lot of German, but I can call you a shithead. Good
segue. The First Order, very, they were more Nazi than the Empire.
Once again, not spoiling anything, but there's a point where
that's in the. I think is it?
What was his
Hux?
rank?
Hux, Admiral Hux, I think.
Okay.
Where he was addressing
that means
the troops.
That there's more admirals out there.
Addressing the troops scene.
There's this scene.
Oh, that's in the trailer. Yeah, that's in the trailer. That's not spoiling anything.
He's addressing the troops. He has red flags behind him.
And then we will demolish them.
Mass groups of troops.
He's ranting like a crazed Hitler, and then they all give. By the way, they all kind of gave the Spaceballs Hail Scroob salute. Just Hail Scroob.
I didn't even notice that.
If you actually look, it's not exactly because they're doing this whole thing. Well, actually, they're giving the FU in the Spaceballs, but the villains I thought were really good. One was underused. But a couple characters were underused.
I can't understand why though. But once again, something for spoilers.
And humor, it's funny, it's on point. It's not perfect. There was a couple things like there's a one shot particular where I saw the green screen. I think you even kind of noticed it too. Yeah. And like I said, a couple characters are underused. There's a couple minor plot points that don't necessarily make as much sense, but there's a line that forgives all of that, really.
Honestly, on at least my behalf, to wrap up the spoiler-free, one, everything looked beautiful.
Oh, well, God,
two,
yes.
All the actors, even the new ones,
I loved them.
Did an amazing job.
You want to learn more about these characters. You do.
Three, it is completely understandable why Finn, the black guy you see in the trailer, is panting so much. Because that was one thing I kept seeing a meme of online. Where people being like, inhaler. My God, get this man an inhaler.
No, but then you're like, oh no. You see the shit he's going through. It's like, yeah, he's had a bit of a bad day.
He's getting some PTSD.
Oh, God, yes.
So you understand why.
Especially by the end of the movie. Oh man.
Yeah. Point being, however.
So, yeah, to wrap it up, we both really liked it. And in fact, I'll just give my rating right now. We can both give our ratings right now before going to spoilers. It's not perfect, but it's so welcome back. I'm giving it about a 9 out of 10. You?
10.
You're going to give it a 10.
Dude, like I said before, this is unlike any other movie we've reviewed. The rest are just scraps of metal. This to me, I grew up with watching with my grandparents and my dad and all of them, all of the time.
Star Wars and
watching
Indiana Jones?
Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Star Trek. Those were the big ones. I watched them all the time. And when the new trilogy came out, I was depressed.
Yeah.
But this, 30 years later.
So, I just want to be clear. You know, you're recognizing it's not perfect and it has some flaws, but you look past them to give it a 10 is what you're saying.
Because the flaws are so minor and insignificant, and they make up for them so well that it's worth it.
You know, you make a good point on that. I will retract the 9. I won't give it a 10. I'll go as far as a 10 without 9, as far as possible without giving it a 10. 9.5, because again, just they highlight certain characters in the trailer like one, and they don't fulfill the promise on that character. So that bugged me a little bit. And
we'll get into that because I have a perfect response for you.
I know, and I agree with your response. So yeah, that's our thoughts without spoilers. Spoilers, I'm giving you a fair warning. When my hand goes to a fist, it goes to 0, we're going to spoilers. So you get a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have been warned. We are now in spoiler territory. So
that's because it was they made up for how much they underused Phasma, the Chrome Trooper, by how funny and fucking hilarious it was to shove this big badass Boba Fett motherfucker,
female
Boba Fett motherfucker in a trash compactor.
Got a carbon chute here or a trash compactor? Yes, we do. It's like, what did you used to do? Wait, what was your position here? I work sanitation. We have light! Oh, God, we're all evil looking now.
Hey, it's something.
My glasses make me look more evil because I look like I have giant evil eyebrows.
I'm trying not to move my leg in front
that's fine.
Actually.
Yeah, 1 second. He's going to try to finagle something here. Oh, you're going to try to stick it in the cup? Oh, no, you're going to try to do that. Now you... Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's a little better. It's not as bright.
Jesus, that is still...
Oh, no, your LED is bright as hell, man. So, I can just do this. So just keep your hands, like...
Well, no, because I'm trying to make it so it can see both of us.
You're right. Fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever, just don't look down.
Yeah. I'm just going to move my leg.
So, yeah.
There.
Point is, Phasma the Clone Trooper has no action sequences whatsoever. And as a character, is cool when we see her, but is just... They're saving her for Episode 8 or Episode 9. That's basically it. But there's so many good callbacks to the original series, too.
Well, see, that's the thing for me. Is they got... If this is our new Boba Fett, they got our funny Boba Fett going... and falling into the Sarlacc butthole moment out of the way.
I mean, it's...
Granted, I have to say, which do you think is more dignified? Falling in a Sarlacc pit or being forced in a garbage chute?
Depends. What's the circumstances behind each one? Same for Boba Fett being shot and thrown into a Sarlacc pit and her being held at gunpoint putting in a trash compactor? I'm going to say the Sarlacc pit, because at least you can say you got eaten by a monster. Instead of being... shoved into a trash compactor. But remember,
you still had, like, assuming that we're going off of outside lore, that Boba Fett still survived, you still have, the argument of, well, Boba Fett had to sit inside of Sarlacc's stomach for, a couple months, versus she had to sit inside of a trash compactor full of garbage for maybe a couple hours.
Again,
actually,
I go with Boba Fett. I go with Boba Fett because he did get out of the Sarlacc pit.
And she got out of the trash compactor.
Yep, but he spent 4 months in there, or 3 months in there, minimum. He's more badass. He's just more badass that way.
I don't know. That's why I
say that.
I would say that the Chrome Trooper...
In that circumstance.
I would say that the Chrome Trooper is more dignified. Because also, she didn't make the Wilhelm scream.
Oh, wait. All depends. Did she get out on her own? Or was she found by her troops stuck in a trash compactor? Because Boba Fett got on his own with no one there.
Honestly, I would say with everything that was going on, she got out on her own.
Probably, you're right.
That being said,
moving on.
I sincerely fucking hope, because that's a thought that just came to mind. I sincerely fucking hope she got out, because otherwise we just wasted a character.
Oh yeah,
who died on that planet.
By the way,
didn't get out.
Star Killer. It's like the Death Star. I wish.
I'm sorry.
Here's the Death Star. Now here's the Star Killer. So it's bigger. What?
I have to say on that note, really quick, that sounds like an '80s hair metal band or something.
Well, Star Killer was supposed to be Luke Skywalker's original last name.
Star Killer.
Star Killer.
Yeah.
By the way, the Star Killer is actually horrifying. It's worse than the Death Star. It sucks up a sun for power.
Dude, I have to say, that was some freaky imagery. Watching this sun
just be drained.
Slowly, just kind of like this. Just slowly drain it. Just suddenly all goes black on this planet.
And then it turns out they're storing the sun in there because when they destroy the Star Killer base, it's a sun. I had a minor issue with that, but I'll let it go because it's Star Wars.
That, and on top of that, I have to also say, oh my fucking God, when the thing fires.
Oh, Christ.
It just looks fucking
See, what
amazing.
I originally thought it was going to be is maybe it blew up a solar system by blowing up the system's sun. Instead...
See, what I was thinking was, it fires a beam so big that kind of has an area of effect where it eventually blows up.
No.
Where it takes the whole system. This is like if you got 10 Death Stars together in a group and fired them in the same direction, each with their own target.
And we know that they blew up the New Republic. We're soon to believe they blew up Coruscant, which is a fucking big planet.
I'm pretty sure they did.
They blew up that and 5 other planets simultaneously.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Coruscant, if it's not blown up, it is severely fucked up.
No, that planet was gone.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is like we didn't see each individual planet blowing up, but Coruscant, if it is not completely destroyed, a huge chunk of it is missing.
Oh man! But you know the introduction,
most likely including the sun.
Yeah, but the introduction to I think the introduction to every character was brilliant the way it was done. It was the introduction to our main characters. Finn's a stormtrooper. He doesn't want to be on there because it's horrifying. Poe Dameron, who is awesome.
Poe Dameron is that weird kind of character who... I'm trying to think of a comparison.
He's a little Han Solo in his own right, honestly.
Yeah.
So when he gets kidnapped by them in the beginning, he's just put in front of Kylo Ren. He's like, So do I talk first? Do you talk first? I don't really know. I can't really understand you with that respirator on your mouth.
But that's what I mean is he reminds me kind of like a character. I'm trying to think of a good example. But basically that like really cool guy.
Cool, cocky guy.
He's not in the vast majority of like the movie or television show, whatever you're watching. But he just shows up and goes, hey, fixes something really quick. Helps the guys out.
He's the Fonz, basically.
I'm cool.
He's the Fonz.
Then walks away.
Hey.
And you're like, wow, thanks, cool Rick.
That
was cool, Rick.
Wait a minute. Tanapo! I'm Tanapo!
But that's how it kind of came off to me.
Hey, Dad, I love Poe. I love
random cool guy who's just, hey, I'm cool. Bye. You're like, I don't know who the fuck that man was.
I dug Ray to...
but he was cool.
Ray was... I mean, of our 2 main leads, I dug Ray a lot.
I liked Ray, but I have to say, they did something very interesting with our 2 main leads.
What's that? Oh, not romantically invested?
That too. But no.
There's a little implication
when
near the end,
when you look at the rest of the series,
yep,
and you know the other movies,
mm-hmm.
Specifically the original trilogy,
yep.
Almost everyone is white, and none of them really have accents outside of American.
True. Both of those people
now,
are Brits.
Our 2 main characters are a black guy and a British woman.
Right on. And they both killed it.
She is very British.
I loved our first introduction to her. We see her, she's a scavenger, and we see her how she probably lives her life. She basically trades in parts for food, more or less, grows bread and water, That was fun, interesting. She lives out of an AT-AT foot, for God's sake.
I know. She lives out of the whole thing. She was just eating.
Oh, okay. Well, she lives out of an AT-AT. That's awesome.
That, and I also have to point out,
she was like
what
sledding.
What she kept pillaging
was
the fucking Star Destroyer.
I still don't know if that staff is important or not, by the way, because it looks like it could be like a design from an old lightsaber or something like that.
The staff?
Yeah. If you actually look at it, it looks like it's designed kind of like a lightsaber in parts of it.
No, honestly, what I think it is like the Sand People staff.
It's possible
that they had.
I liked how Finn was really just, I want to get the fuck out of here, and then rises to be the hero. And
I liked Finn.
Finn was good. And because we're spoiled, Finn does live at the end. He gets the shit kicked out of him, but he lives at the end.
Yep.
And that's the person you see Rey crying over in the Force after he gets his ass handed to him by Kylo Ren. So let's talk about Kylo Ren. Dug him. I did dig him as a character. You made a point saying he was a bit whiny.
He came off as a little bit of that kind of whiny, arrogant, angry, like
angsty.
This is definitely what I want. I know that I want this, but do I?
Well,
I want this.
Yeah, but you understand that given his character, he was Force sensitive, went to be trained by Luke, who is not present through the vast majority. One of the big key points of this movie is to go find Luke. Even the opening scroll is he's been gone for 30 years.
It's kind of like the search for Spock.
A little bit, and we're spoiler territory, so this is a big one. He is Han and Leia's son. He is Ben Solo. So, yeah.
Honestly, I thought that from.
A lot of people figured it. I pretty much called that. Hey, of the three ones I guessed, I actually at least called that one correct. Finn, there's no proof he's a Skywalker, and Rey is heavily hinted to be Luke's daughter, but we'll find that out in Episode 8. Probably. But no, it came out because you actually saw how, unlike Anakin, who just came out, no thanks to Lucas from his direction, but who just came off whiny and angsty in the worst way possible. This guy, you actually understand where his conflict's coming from, especially when he confronts his dad.
Yeah. I don't understand why he turned to the dark side in the first place.
Snoke, remember. Snoke got a hold of him. Got his grubby little mitts in him, which...
Point being,
we got to talk about Snoke, too.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay, we'll get to Snoke then.
Point being, however, is Kylo Ren just... Here's the other thing. Is Darth Vader, this guy who he tries to emulate. He has Darth Vader's old burnt up
He went to
mask.
Endor to get the... Endor's destroyed. Screw what Lucas says. How did he get that? He found it floating in space one day. He's like, yes.
Point being, is he has this old mask, and he obviously is trying to emulate him.
Oh yeah.
But whereas Vader had that like calm, but overbearing.
Well, he
and,
can
like,
lose his temper at points too.
I know, but like fills
he had
a
real level of threat to him when he entered a room.
He had like this calm, overbearing, like just filling up whatever space he was in, kind of menace and authority to him. Whereas Kylo Ren, he comes off more as like, even the stormtroopers are like, oh, it's that guy. Hello, sir. All right, have a nice day.
And that being said, when he's having one of his fits,
it comes off as like the only reason they really find him. At any point in time, kind of threatening or menacing or anything else like that. He's sitting there having like a tantrum fit, and that was one of the worst parts. Is this is a guy who goes in a tantrum fits, slices everything up with his lightsaber, screaming. That
didn't super bother me because it just felt the way his character was. He's trying to make his grandfather proud, and he's failing, and it's bothering him. And
because realized that his grandfather by the end went, oh wait, no, Luke, you're right.
That does bother me. It's like, wait, you do realize he also was in conflict and went to the light side.
Maybe Luke never really told people that part?
Maybe. I don't know. That being said, though, when he's doing badass shit, he is doing badass shit. He did two things both me and Mark had not actually seen in a Star Wars movie. He actually read people's minds, tortured them with the Force, which we had not seen that. And he stopped the blaster bolt mid-air.
Not only that, it held there without his concentration until he left the planet.
Because me and Mark are just sitting there, just like we realized what happened after like a few seconds to let it process.
Like one dude is even like one of the stormtroopers even stops what he's doing after Kylo Ren leaves, hops in his ship, and he's just staring at this bolt, like sitting there in midair, going,
and then just whoa.
And it's like, oh, he had to leave the planet's atmosphere before this thing went off.
I love the humor in this, especially like when we first get our real introductions to the old shit. Where the introduction to Millennium Falcon was great, was just perfectly done. Because we see it under a tarp. We don't know what it is. We don't even recognize the shape.
Well, no, we don't even see it at first. What we see is Rey and Finn.
They're running
towards her like motorbike, and she's like,
"No, they're running towards a 4-quad ship. That's it." And they blow up the ship because they're trying to get.
Sworn that was her bike.
No, they blew up. It was a quad jumper. They called it because they were trying to get off planet to get away from it.
Oh, whatever. But they're running towards this thing, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I can fly that. That one's really good."
This quad jumper. What about that one? That's a piece of junk. It's been there forever.
They don't even show it to you. They just point off screen to it.
We're just like, okay.
And then that ship gets blown up, and she's like,
piece of junk will do.
Piece of junk it is.
And then we pan over, and the Millennium Falcon's just sitting there with tarps, and we're just like, yeah! And the subsequent fight scene, but aerial combat scene is just gorgeous to watch. Just gorgeous. All the fight scenes, all the lightsaber battles, the blaster battles,
speaking of which, they did a really good job keeping up with like the old style of technology.
Oh yeah, they did.
Like if you remember how the targeter looked in the original trilogy, they have a new targeting system in the new X-Wings and the new TIE Fighters, but
Millennium Falcon still look the same too.
The Millennium Falcon, when he hops into that turret gun on the bottom, you see the old style of targeting system.
And then you see the table that they had for the game still works. He pops it on by mistake. And then, of course, we find out what's been going on. Leia's been working as a general for the Resistance. Han, and because they're somewhat to the dark side, Han and Chewie, for Han to cope, went back to smuggling. And Han lost the Falcon. He got it stolen 3 times over. And
basically, one guy stole it, then someone stole it from him, then someone stole it from him.
And then when they need him, they apparently, on the ship that he's using, which they had 3 Rathtars, whatever those are. They look like, I can't even describe what they look like.
Little squid monsters.
Oh, not little. They filled up an entire corridor.
Well, yeah.
And they could turn into roly-poly monsters, too. That was kind of weird. That was one scene where I was a little iffy, but the whole scene, it was funny.
They kind of remind me a little bit of, like, the monsters from, what was that movie with Tom Cruise? Where he, like, kept repeating the same day.
Edge of Tomorrow, or Live, Die,
Edge of Tomorrow.
However you want to call it.
Freaking, they kind of remind me of the monsters.
A very mild one. I'd be more intimidated by those ones, though.
Well, yeah.
But, no, what I described it out in the car to you, and you agreed, it's not Harrison Ford in this. It's Han Solo.
Oh,
it's fucking Han Solo. It's an older Han Solo, but Han Solo. His one-liners, man. His one-liners I loved.
I want to hold off on anything more about Han Solo till the end.
I think anyone who just heard that and saw your reaction kind of can gather what we're going to get at. But we'll save it to near the end. Anywho.
Point being.
I love the new character. Maz Kanata was cool. Or Maz Kanata. She was cool. The yellow alien pirate person.
Oh,
she was cool.
I liked her.
Yeah, she's the one who gives him the lightsaber. And she gives the best explanation for why we want to see more movies. It's like, where'd you get this lightsaber? Ah, yes, that is a story. But not for right now. Here, take this.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're not going to learn everything in this movie.
Another thing along those lines is, let's talk about Snoke.
Snoke. Now,
who the fuck is this guy?
There's been a long-standing rumor, and I even did a video on it, check in the playlist, that he is a character called Darth Plagueis, who was the master of Palpatine, who Palpatine claims he killed in his sleep. But Plagueis was a master, and they never reference midichlorians in this movie series, but manipulation of midichlorians to the point where he could create and even manipulate life. He could prevent death to a degree. So it's very possible he survived and survived Palpatine.
That being said,
when we first see this guy,
well, even before that, when we do first see him, this dude is fucked up.
Oh god,
like
he's
there's
scarred.
A huge gash down his head.
He's got his lips look like
his
they were
face was
burned
like
at one
messed
point.
up here. Like there's a whole nother part of his face just messed up.
Andy Serkis, man, did a great job though.
Jesus.
But I'm like, because there was a rumor saying he's like he's 20 to 30.
I know Andy Serkis.
Caesar from Planet of the Apes. Gollum. He's Smeagol. The Lord of Mocap is that guy.
Jesus.
But yeah, there was a rumor saying he's like 20, 30 feet tall. I'm like, that's a bullshit rumor. Then we see this guy. I'm like, what the fuck? He's what the flying? And then, it's a hologram. Thank God. Because that would have been a problem I had.
Which I do want to point out a problem I have now.
Really?
With the old,
holograms?
What was the Emperor's real name?
Oh, Palpatine.
Sheev
Palpatine, to be precise.
I'm just fucking out of it. But anyway, with Palpatine, when he was using, the oversized, hologram things.
You just saw, the top of his head.
Well, even then, you could believe he was sitting there at a table with, a little tiny Darth Vader in front of him going, hey, now you listen here, little man. But with this, it's like this dude is sitting in this big chair.
He's looking down at the ground. The little hologram has to be on the ground for him to be looking
it's like this little hologram, the size of a cup.
That's got to be it.
Sitting on the floor. And because the way he looks and the way he's acting, it looks like he's looking down at this little tiny hologram on the floor going, now you listen here, little tiny people.
There's been an awakening. Have you felt it? Search your feelings.
Why the fuck would you have such a small hologram?
He's
not to mention, it shows his entire body, so it's still...
He also looks like he's wearing a bathrobe.
This isn't a complaint against the movie.
No, it's not.
This, for me, is more of a complaint against Snoke, because I'm willing to believe that this is all in universe and everything else like that. If I was a stormtrooper, I would be sitting there going, why the fuck does Snoke have this on the floor?
And I got a question. I don't know why I'm questioning this. When the Emperor's robes, they look like robes. They do. They look like sleek robes and what he's outfit. Snoke looked like he was wearing a fucking robe. If you actually looked at what he was wearing, he looked like he was wearing a bathrobe.
To me, it looked kind of like he was wearing an old-style monk's robe.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we learn about Rey. It's really Rey. I mean, it's Finn and Rey's story, but it's more Rey's story. She's kind of the Luke Skywalker of this, and she finds the lightsaber and she has visions of stuff. Don't know if it's some of the past. We see Luke in a brief flashback. Some in the I'm assuming the future.
You want to release these bindings.
He's on me at the door and walk away. I'm going to tighten those bindings, you stupid scavenger.
No. It wasn't even that at first. It was...
What?
Excuse me?
You
want to tighten... You want to loosen these.
She's like this, so you're going to release my restraint and walk away. I'm going to tighten them, you scavenger. And then she just calms down for a second. You're going to release these restraints and walk away.
And then you just see him go... I'm going to release these restraints and then as you walk away.
And you're going to leave your weapon. And I'm going to leave my weapon. I like how he said that, too, just so casually like that.
It was like he... Honestly, the way he kind of said it was a bit more to me like, and I'm going to leave my weapon.
Yeah.
Hey, just casually just kind of drops it on the ground and walks away.
This movie is actually hilarious. It is.
Which, I have to wonder, because she didn't give him specific direction where to walk to, I'm wondering where he decided to walk off to. Because she just told him to walk away. Did he walk to the lunch bar?
Actually
Did he go to the toilet? Did he go back home and maybe, have a nice candy bar and watch some television?
But before we get to more with Han in the final scene, a few things that I wasn't a fan of, per se, and this is my biggest one, the underused characters in this. First off, again, Phasma we touched on, but Max von Sydow, Completely. I know nothing about this guy whatsoever. Ooh. The guy in the very beginning that Poe's talking to.
Oh.
Kylo Ren
have to think that he was a character in the old movie.
I know he's a character. I think he's a character in the novels, is what it is, that they've recently come out with, which you can get in Target, I saw. But, yeah, it's like a complete waste of Maximon's Sydow, or Sydow, however you pronounce it. And Maz Kanata, she was in there, I think, the enough amount of time she needed to be there.
I think part of the problem was they just had too much to do.
It does seem crammed at
They
points.
had
it
too
does.
many
That's why
new
I don't
characters.
give it a perfect 10. That's why I don't do it.
They had too many new characters that they wanted to introduce us to. But they also really wanted to introduce a bunch of old characters.
We've got about 7 minutes left, too, just for sake of timing.
Okay, really quick, moving on then. Han Solo. He dies.
Yeah.
Moving on then. So
okay, come on. 7 minutes is fine. We can at least elaborate. I didn't actually know he actually cried. He's told me this. I'm like, I got teary. I'm like, and I was just like, no, because the scene is he's confronting his son, Ben Solo, by the way, for you expanded lore fans.
I was literally holding my face just
no, and I'm just like, fuck, no,
and I literally shed tears.
And it's horrible too, because you can see his son does love his dad, and it's like Han's like, no, but then the lightsaber, fuck, no,
dude, I'm sorry. The second I realized what had happened, and I see a lightsaber poking out the other side, and he
thrusted it up too. Oh
yeah, and I just see Han Solo's face,
and he just gives his son
and then I
touches his face. Sorry.
I just see Han Solo's face, and him looking at freaking Kylo Ren, and then I see all that. I don't give a fuck about the other characters' reactions, and then I just see him kind of slowly slide off and just fall off of this walkway. Speaking of which, why the fuck are there still no hand railings?
Oh no, there was. He fell over the hand railing.
No.
Oh, you're right. I take it back. You're right.
There were no hand railings. But either way, he falls off of it and plummets down into the freaking fog and smoke down there. God. I'm like, oh.
And it vaporized with a star. Oh.
And I actually cried a bit.
Oh man, that just I felt like Chewie. I just wanted to shoot. Chewie gets to shoot Kylo Ren for that too, at least. Just, oh. So then they go. Which, you mentioned the Force, but even I'm like, no, there was a good maybe half a mile of distance there. Finn and Rey are running towards the Falcon in that forest, and Kylo Ren is in front of them and beats them, meaning he had to circle around them.
No, I also know another way.
Oh?
Kylo Ren actually knows how the fucking base is laid out.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And how to get from point A to point B.
And he's injured as hell.
They were up on upper floors, so they had to find a way down to ground level, run out into the forest. Whereas Kylo Ren probably was like, oh, hey, if I go down this hallway, take left here, go up this set of stairs, go out this exit, I'll end up in the forest, and I can just wait from there.
And then, the fight between him and Rey goes on, which, while the whole this prevents this thing doesn't apply for the crossguard lightsaber.
I'm sure it will later.
I still think that thing was destroyed. He'll maybe build another one. We did realize another function of that.
Well, maybe it was the fact that he put that there in the first place for that function.
Maybe.
But
basically, he was able,